Hey there, folks. Luke McDonald here again with my second Teaching News Bulletin update. As you can see, I'm still in my teacher threads for the day. Got my dress shirt, got my tie on, and even still my goofy pen in the back of my ear, which I just realized. So, just a little bit of update on what I've been up to. We are full speed ahead in Romeo and Juliet with my grade 9s. It has been a really awesome experience and really connected well with my overall learning goals and research questions that I've laid out for myself in this course. I've been trying as best I can to really make Romeo and Juliet as engaging and fun as I possibly can by connecting it to contemporary culture, making references to dating and online dating, and just really trying to keep my students at the center of it, use their experience, ask them questions about whatever young love they've experienced and really compare the experience of Romeo and Juliet, who are 13 and 15 respectively, and connect that to my students. So one such activity we did is we had a discussion on, at 13, if if Juliet is really in a state to be making these kind of lifelong responsibilities and commitments, such as marriage and professing, her undying love to someone. And we had some really fruitful discussions regarding those questions. Some students really connected that to the overdramatic friends in their school setting who seem to go flippantly from one person to the next of professing their love. And they really compared that to Romeo and his affections he showed towards Rosaline and then Juliet. And some of my more romantic students, felt sincerely that love at first sight was possible, and they really defended that quite eloquently and passionately. So, in summary, Romeo and Juliet has been an awesome experience, and it's really connected well with my overall goal of improving my utilization of culture-relevant pedagogy. My grade 11s are moving into literary criticism, which admittedly is not my strong suit as an English teacher, but it's offered me a really great opportunity to learn and grow alongside my students to ensure that my content knowledge in regards to literary criticism is up to snuff. And again, it's also been going excellently. I have a great group of students who are very engaged, ready to learn. And while literary criticism can be dry from time to time, I am trying to keep my students at the focus of it. Find out which criticisms they connect with and why. Which lenses for reading literature connect with their experience and their values, whether that be feminist, Marxist, reader response, archetypals, and such forth. And I think when we do that, when we keep the students at the focus of our activity and try and utilize that culture-relevant pedagogy, that's when the students' imaginations begin to open up. That's when their minds start firing on all cylinders, and that really meaningful and awesome engaged learning can occur. Finally, I want to talk about a recent field trip that I supervised. I had an absolute sincere pleasure of escorting my grade 11s on a expedition entitled Inuit Day of Learning. It was in March 28th. And essentially what we had the pleasure of doing was we went to Galaxy Cinemas in Brampton and we watched a screening of the new activist documentary Angry Inuk, which catalogs and charts out one filmmaker's attempt to disrupt the propaganda surrounding the sealing industry and really show that these self-proclaimed animal rights activists are misinformed and misguided in their attempts to stop commercial sealing. It opened up my perspectives very much so, as an animal rights activist myself. Really showed me just how dependent the indigenous peoples of Iqaluit and Nunavut, the Inuit, are on the commercial sealing industry, and not just for their own source of food, but in order to participate in the global economy, in order to create the craftsmanship that is brought income into their communities, which I did not know. I was ignorant of the fact that they are the most food insecure communities in the developed world, and alongside the most impoverished. Just watching this documentary, it's so shocking to see that a 24 case of water in Iqaluit costs upwards of $105. A jar of Cheese Whiz is $26. A 12 case of Coke is $85. And when I realized this, that how much these people do rely on the sealing industry, and being able to freely hunt the seals as they wish, collect the meat, store it in community freezers, just so that the people in the community do have some source of food, and using that every part of that sacred animal to them in order to craft mittens, hats, boots, parkas, scarves, and such forth to keep them warm and survive these harsh temperatures. It certainly expanded my perception of the indigenous peoples again of Nunavut, Iqaluit, the Inuit, and really gave me at least a glean, if you will. I'm obviously not saying I understand the whole picture, but just a glance into Inuit culture, which I think will certainly help me should I choose to travel up north in my teaching profession, or simply have indigenous students that may be belonging to that nation in my class. And the day was really awesome. My students very much enjoyed it. They were asking tons and tons of questions during the question and answer period, which I was very proud of them for doing. And to me, that shows that my attempts to be culturally relevant with them and learn their perspective and take on their shoes, if you will, is rubbing off in the sense that they're eager to learn about others and see themselves in the other, rather than take part in divisive actions or behaviors. And the day was concluded with some awesome Inuit games, and as well as throat singing, Inuit drumming, and dancing. And as a fan of sports myself, there was one game. It was absolutely amazing. It was called the high kick, and essentially they would have, from, obviously this would be much bigger, but a large pole, and dangling from it would be a well, they had to use a sock, to be honest. They had to improvise a little bit, but traditionally it would be another object, and it would be not a gym sock. But essentially what you do is you would try and kick the sock higher and higher, almost like you're doing a limbo in reverse. The bar goes higher and higher, and it's who can jump off the air in 2 feet, again, kick that sock, boom, and then land on 1 foot gracefully. And whoever can keep pushing the bar higher and higher as if in a reverse limbo is who will ultimately win the competition. And it just gave me, again, more insight into those cultural practices of the Inuit people, and really gave me a more informed and holistic perspective on the sealing industry as a whole. And while I still obviously respect the integrity and sacredness of nature and animals, it really did show me that the idea of banning the seal hunt and limiting commercial sealing within Canada is a terrible, if not downright atrocious idea, especially in regards to Inuit sustainability, cultural longevity, and their ability to participate in the global economy. So I think with that, I will sign off my second news bulletin, and say that it's been an absolute joy, my placement, and I think I'm coming along very nicely in reaching those learning goals of better utilizing and implementing culturally relevant pedagogy. I wish all the best for you folks, and I hope your placement is going as great as mine, okay? Cheers, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your weekend, okay? One more week, folks. One more week. Bye now. Cheers.